in the NBA with the start of free agency. The Rockets made the biggest move of the offseason in acquiring Kevin Durant from the Suns. Durant averaged nearly 27 points per game last season, providing the Rockets with scoring and boosting their chances at winning an NBA Finals next season. Plus, the Bucks made a splash of their own this offseason when they added Miles Turner from the Pacers on Tuesday to a 4-year deal, filling a need at center after they lost Brook Lopez to the Clippers. However, it was the Orlando Magic that got the chaos started. I know Kevin Clark's happy about that, as they traded for Desmond Bane from the Grizzlies as Orlando looks to take the next step and come out of the East next season. So, David, of those three teams that I mentioned, of the player acquisitions, which will be the biggest, most, impactful, biggest bombshell in the NBA next
biggest
season?
bombshell.
Kind of like we're in Love Island.
There we go. Anyway,
about it.
Kevin Durant. It's Kevin Durant, because he is the only guy in that mix that is going to elevate his team to a legitimate possibility of winning a championship. Now, I like the Desmond Bane move about making the Magic contenders in the East, but in terms of championship level abilities, I love the hearts there. That's so beautiful.
I like that.
This is great. Anyway, so Kevin Durant and what he's doing to that Houston Rockets team, because that was what they needed. They missed a half-court score and somebody who, when other defenses lock in on them, somebody who can put up 30, 40 points and break down a defense. I think Kevin Durant is the biggest move here because of how high he elevates this team.
Kevin?
I want to start out by addressing the allegations that will come my way that I'm an Orlando Magic homer.
You are.
I think you've absolutely, you will never be able to beat these allegations.
Wrong. No one hates watching the Orlando Magic more than me since Dwight Howard got traded in 2012, okay? No one has had
the fact that you've watched the Orlando Magic since 2012 is why you're an Orlando Magic.
I'm trying sometime. Your takes will be better about the Magic. But I promise you, I'm as tough a critic as anybody. This Desmond Bane trade not only makes the Magic Eastern Conference contenders, in my mind, it makes them the favorite. They're going to win the Eastern Conference. What this does to the Magic offense in transition, as far as catch and shoot three-point shots, as far as the creativity and spacing the floor, this changes the dynamic of the entire team. They've been trying to get a three-point shooter since J.J. Redick left town in 2013. They have not had an offense in the top half of the league, top half, not top 5, not top 10, top half, since Dwight Howard left the team. That's what they've been searching for. It happens now. It happens this year. Paolo Banchero is going to be one of the best players in the NBA. We know what Franz Wagner can do. Desmond Bane changes the franchise.
I just love Kevin Clark, Orlando Magic homer, coming on here and pitching for the Magic. Look, I think the Magic had a great offseason. Getting Desmond Bane is going to help a lot. Let's see if Paolo and Franz can improve their shooting, because I think that's going to have to happen. And Jalen Suggs is going to have to stay healthy for your opinion to come true, which I'm not saying it's impossible. The East is wide open. Though, I'm going to say Miles Turner going to the Bucks for a couple of reasons. One, if Miles Turner going to the Bucks keeps Giannis Antetokounmpo, that will be the biggest move of this offseason, because it will take him off the board from going to a Houston or to some other team where he would obviously be a guy who could swing the championship picture. And the other thing is, by taking him away from the Indiana Pacers, to me, it takes the Pacers out of the mix. Obviously, they were out of the mix this year with Tyrese Halliburton hurt, but it really takes the Pacers out of the mix of continuing this run when Halliburton is back that we saw them go on over the past several weeks. Turner is a critical part of what allowed the Pacers to get to the NBA Finals. Taking them out of the mix for the next couple of years opens up Kevin's Orlando Magic, to me, to be a team that could take their place as a team that's going to be in the top 2 or 3 in the East going forward. So for that reason, I will say for him impacting multiple teams at once and taking Giannis off the board, I'll go with Miles Turner.
Big if there. If Miles Turner is enough to keep Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, if that doesn't happen, then I'll be wrong.
Yeah.
But as of right now,
you're saying you're right. Well, I'm going with David. I'm saying that we're right talking about the Houston Rockets. This is a team that won the offseason so far. They know what they had to do to contend with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And what was the conversation like? I remember when we were doing First Take in April, right before the playoffs started. Nobody was buying the Rockets as a 2 seed. They were the inexperienced kids that were going into this just shooting for the moon, going against the Golden State Warriors. They have that experience now. They have front court, not only starting level play, they have depth. But Kevin Durant takes this team to a completely different level. You have an elite scorer. Most importantly, you have an elite closer in all of that, which I think is the most important thing that the Houston Rockets did not have in that 7-game series against the Golden State Warriors in the first round. And to see him bring himself here. Is this his last stop? Who knows? He's in his mid to late 30s, played 17 seasons so far in the NBA. We'll see if this yields a championship for him after the last 5 seasons. But On this note, after playing 17 seasons, KD is still going strong. He averaged 27 points last season. Now he's hoping to take the Houston Rockets to that same level, to keep up the same scoring pace. This season, he's expected to pass Michael Jordan on the all-time scorers list by the end of the 2025-26 season. KD ranks 8th currently in the NBA's all-time scoring list with over 30,000 points. He's the only active player in the top 10 besides LeBron, who's first on that list, over 42,000 points. Then you've got James Harden ranked 11th, Russell Westbrook at 20th, and then Stephen Curry at 24. Tim, who is the better scorer in the NBA today? I'm giving you 4 options here. KD, LeBron, James Harden, or Stephen Curry?
I mean, this answer's easy. To me, Kevin Durant is the greatest scorer in the history of the sport, not just now, and he's definitely the greatest scorer of those 4 guys today. He's a 7-foot-tall player who plays like a guard, who can shoot from 30 feet. He's one of the most, if not the most efficient jump shooter in the history of the league. He's a metronomic 50-40 guy over the course of his career. And when you combine his size, I mean, you see the jump shot here. There's been nobody ever that we've seen can have the combination of skills and ability that Kevin Durant has. I mean, the only thing you could arguably question him over the course of his career is that he didn't shoot enough, because he's been a guy that's been very content to be somewhere in the high 20s, average topping up around 30 in his career. If he wanted to have a Kobe Bryant 2005 season and score 35, 36 points, he could easily do that. But he's never really pushed himself to be that kind of player. He'd rather operate within the offense and get himself 28 points on 50-40 shooting. It's why, to your point before, Courtney, he is going to be such a great fit in Houston, because he's replacing Jalen Green, who was a wildly inefficient, not very good lead scorer. And now they replace him with Kevin Durant. It's a big part of why the Rockets are going to be a team that is truly a contender this year in the Western Conference. And yeah, I think KD is not only the best of those 4 scorers right now, I truly think he's the greatest scorer from his combination of skills that we've ever seen in the sport of basketball.
Kevin?
I'm not going to be Magic Homer and go off menu with Paolo Banchero, just to cut that off.
Well, it wasn't on the list anyway.
I could have done it. I could have forced it.
Not have been qualified.
I'm going KD here. He's getting better at some things, okay? Last year was his 3rd highest effective field goal percentage, 2nd best 3-point percentage of his career. Everything Tim said is correct, which is a great rebound because the Miles Turner point was so terrible on the last segment. But he's just, in some cases getting better. He's going to be part of a championship contender, which I'm not sure you can say for a lot of these guys. He's going to be at the forefront of the sport next year, even at his advanced age. I love him.
All right, a few days ago, I did David's A-list. It was the best list I think we ever had on First Take History.
Yeah.
Humble brag. And I had Kevin Durant as the 2nd best scorer of all time, right? The accolades, the years, and all that. But for this year, 1 year, Wardell Stephen Curry. What school to go to, Davis College? Wardell Stephen Curry is the best scorer that we have right now. Look at the defense that he has up against on a night-to-night basis. They are double-teaming this dude at half court every time he touches the ball, and yet and still, he is a destroyer of defenses. He went up there against that Houston Rockets team, which is one of the best defenses in the league, which was equipped specifically to stop this dude, and we're trying to double-team him at every minute of that game.